Hey, what's up, everyone? Look at that. It's class number 227. The numbers mean absolutely nothing, right? The most important thing is this is my last live class of 2025. There will be some classes over the Christmas period, but there will be recorded classes. So this is the last time you'll see me live. I'm here again at the beautiful Space to Breathe Collective. The weather outside is pretty poxy, but the lighting in here is amazing. So hopefully we'll have a nice practice together, right? I've got the heating on, I've got infrared heaters here, infrared heaters here, infrared heaters over there. So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm sat in my t-shirt. It's December the 18th, so a wholehearted welcome. So yeah, if it's the first time, then welcome to this first class. And if it's you've been here hundreds of times before, you know, maybe 200 odd, then thank you so much for all of your presence, and thank you for your presence for the whole of 2025. And remember, this is a journey that we go on together, right? So we don't expect these massive shifts, right? I think life, as I get older and older and older, because I'm lucky enough to get that old, right, is that, you know, we just get curious about things and we commit to things. Now, that doesn't mean committing with gritted teeth and going through things where, you know, you don't really enjoy it, but you think there's going to be, you know, an end game at the end of it. It's about just being brave to make different choices in your life, right? And I've made loads of different choices in my life. And I think about the things that I used to do and the things that I do now. And I could say, well, maybe it's because I'm 53, but no, there's a lot of that is to do with, you know, things that probably weren't very good for me, right? Here and here in my body. Every year is a massive gift, right? So your yoga practice can be part of that, right? And I think what happens a lot of the time is that we expect that we're going to feel something different straight away, and that doesn't generally happen, right? It's like the long haul, all of this stuff, right? But there's joy in the long haul, right? We don't want to, as I say, you don't want to cling on and kind of go, oh, you know, I've just got to get over this next hump and then everything's going to be great. There's always going to be challenges in our lives, right? And we're all going to go through, you know, a lot of pain and grief and troubles, right? And it's how we navigate that. And that doesn't mean if you fall apart, then you navigate it wrong. I don't mean that at all. But remember, you know, you're well worth looking after. And I really genuinely mean that. And that includes all of the things that you do to look after yourself. Curious, right? Spend time with people that uplift you, and kind of, you know, if it's something simple you want to just begin, just breathe and sit and just see what happens. And with those kind of moments of stillness, then sometimes there's a lot of wisdom in that, and then that will guide you. But get around people, right? Get around people that uplift you. I really mean that. Community. And remember, you can volunteer with the Royal Voluntary Service. Lots of volunteer opportunities around in your local area. So I would wholeheartedly recommend that. And if you're in Leicester, in the East Midlands, and you want to come to the Space to Breathe, you are more than welcome to come here. We have 2 free classes a week. It's £30 unlimited yoga. This is not a sales pitch, but it's an amazing place to come and practice yoga. Look at this space. Look, absolutely incredible, right? It's beautiful and so good. I'm very lucky to be able to practice here. Okay. Enough of that, right? We're 3.5 minutes in. That's all yoga that I've just spoken about, right? But what we'll do is I'll go back on my mat in a moment, but maybe just kind of have a little wiggle around, you know, just sort of find some length into your spine. Hi to Margaret. Nice to have you along. Thank you. That's really nice. I can't quite read your name. But it says love to everyone for the end of the year. I enjoy these classes so much and they've helped me such a lot. I'm really happy. Thank you so much for saying that. It means a lot. And Alan, who I know, who joined some of my other classes, welcome to Alan. If anyone else wants to say hello, you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, all right. So this looks pretty good, right? We're sat nice. Bring your hands onto your knees. Maybe close your eyes. And just check in. Notice what you're noticing. You know, it can be kind of the temperature of the room. It might be the physical sensations in your body. It might be your breath flowing in, flowing out. Maybe, you know, it's the scent, the smells. I've got some incense burning here and it smells good. So take in, you know, all of the surroundings without, you know, focusing too much on things, but just let everything sort of envelop and, I don't know, meld into your being. meld into your being, right? I like that. And then what we'll do is we'll just move a little bit through our head. So I'm just going to scratch my nose. Got a little itch. Have a little itch if you want. Drop your chin down towards your sternum. Just rock your chin a little side to side. This is how we normally start, right? So just kind of freeing everything up. Back of the neck is nice and long. You're just noticing these sensations if you just move a little side to side. And remember, over the Christmas period, it can bring its own strains, right? There's a lot of joy at Christmas as well, but also it doesn't mean that it's blissful for everyone. And we'll all probably have our moments where, we'll feel a little frustrated. I'll say that mildly. Maybe circle your head out, pick a direction. So remember, you've always got your practice. Don't be shy to find a quiet room and take yourself away, even if your family think you're a bit weird. And then maybe just come back in the opposite direction. Noticing if anything feels different from side to side. You remember all this stuff you can do in the chair as well, if you don't have to join me on the floor for any of this stuff. And then eventually inhaling, bringing your head all the way back to center. And then taking a full exhale. What I would say is make sure you're hydrated as well. I've got a nice cup of tea here. I'm going to take the lid off. My wife made this for me before I came here, so let me just check out what it is. I think it's turmeric and cacao, or maybe turmeric and cocoa. I can't remember, but anyway, it's turmeric and something. It's really nice. I'm going to go back on my mat. So if you're not there, feel free to kind of join me. And I'm going to sit on a blanket like I normally do. I've got these lovely new blankets. It's supposed to be a lovely new mat. So always investing in the equipment, right? Okay. Maybe bring your other leg in front, your other shin in front, and then just again have a little root around, see what's going on. And then what we're going to do, we're going to get into the hips and the lower spine. We do this in most classes. Hands onto the knees, and then just circle your torso out. Inhale forward and exhale as you round into your spine. And just draw those circles that feel good for you. And may, sometimes sit a little taller. I'm just drawing tiny little circles. But otherwise, circling the torso out. Stay nice and relaxed with your jaw. You can do all this stuff with your eyes closed. Totally up to you. Inhale back to center. Take a full exhale and then just swap it out. Come back in the opposite direction. We can do, a little bit of work today down on the floor. But as I say, if this doesn't feel great for you being down here, then feel free to do some of this stuff in the chair. I do that Monday or Tuesday class, which we're going to continue next year. Looking forward to all of the amazing classes that we'll have planned for the Virtual Village Hall. Recommend it to people over the Christmas period. If you've got a partner who is resistant to this kind of stuff, then maybe you invite them along. And you never know where you'll be in another year's time, right? Inhale to come back to center, and then take a full exhale. I'm going to lean back into my hands. You might do the same. You can bring your feet out and then just knock your knees a little side to side. And then what we're going to do, we're going to hold this. We did this a few weeks ago. So drop your knees down towards the right, and then just hold here. Left knee draws down towards the right foot. See how this feels. Now, if you wanted to, you can just catch a hold of the left ankle and maybe bring that left foot out a little bit. So it's in line with the top edge of your mat, depending on how you're sitting, I guess. And then that would be a slightly deeper stretch. Now, it's quite early in the class, so I'm going to move my cup of tea. But if you've got room, you might come down onto the forearms, and then that makes it even deeper. So this is a big stretch for me in the left hip, right? And I can feel it in my left thigh as well. Okay, some people lie on their backs here, but I don't have that in me. All right, slowly unravel, bring the feet back, just drop your knees a little side to side. Nice, beautiful. And then from here, drop the knees over to the left. Just spend a couple of breaths here. This might be where you stay, right? Just bringing that right knee down towards the left foot. And then your choice, if you want to go a little further, you can bring that right leg back a little more, kind of separate the knees and maybe lean back. And you'll kind of be informed about how you feel one side to the other. Now, this right thigh is informing me not to come too far back here. So I'm just going to stay a little bit higher on this side, so you can sort of see how things are different side to side. Take one more round of breath wherever you are. And then exhale, come all the way back to center. All right, bring the feet out, lock the knees side to side. And then we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Now, this is a nice thing to sit on something and do it. I'm on my blanket. You just rotate the pelvis forward, soles of the feet come together. You can sit nice and tall and just have a little sway around. Some people will lean back, kind of pin their knees a little further down towards the floor. Or you can come into this pose, which is butterfly, where you caterpillar pose, where you can just kind of bring the hands onto the feet and just breathe it out here. Just see what's going on with your lower spine. Try not to kind of push too much here. Great place to spend a little bit longer, but today we're limited on time. So when you're ready, press your hands back by your feet, and then maybe bring your other shin in front again, come back, cross legs, and then inhale, bring the hands all the way up. As you exhale, frame your hands to your heart center. So do that 3 more times. Inhaling up, exhale, hands down. Inhale, and exhale. One more time like that, inhaling up, and then exhaling down. This time, as you inhale all the way up, exhale, twist to the right. So left hand, right knee, right hand behind. Inhale to find length. And then exhale into your twist. A few breaths like that. Every inhale you find length. Every exhale you twist. Maybe 2 more rounds. Beautiful. Inhale to reach the arms all the way up. Maybe look towards the hands. And then exhale, twist towards the left. Right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Inhale to find length. And exhale into your twist. Beautiful. Inhale to come all the way back to center. Take a full exhale. Nice. Have a little wriggle about. Maybe press the fingertips down into the floor. And then what we're going to do is stay seated, but we're going to, I'm just swap my legs out. You can do that, but we're going to do a twist. I sometimes do this stood up, but we're going to do it with our hands on our heart, or one hand on the heart. We're going to do it seated. So it's a little bit different. So you inhale, left arm open to the left, and then exhale, right arm to the right. Right? So that's your movement. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And you might be able to hear my breath. I use quite a intentional breath, so it's a little deeper than it normally is. And now use that breath to kind of just drive the movement, but also to energize myself, right? Couple more times either side. Inhale, come back to center. And then take a full exhale. One more time like that. Deep inhale. And then a full exhale. And then just sit. Notice what you're noticing. Maybe a little hum or a buzz of energy. I like to think about this stuff as quite subtle, but quite informative as well, right? Feel that aliveness within your body. And then this time, bring the hands so the palms are down, and then just move a little through your shoulders. So maybe just inhale the shoulders up, and then exhale them down. So something like we're doing at the moment, it could be perfect for a morning practice or a practice at any time of the day. But I think that getting into good habits in the morning, doing something in the morning, now it might not be yoga, but something that kind of brings you into your body. So it might be committing to going out if you can and going for a walk, in wherever you live. Just get outside, even if it's for 5 minutes, or it could be just sitting in stillness in a favourite spot this time of year, maybe indoors, right? But somewhere where you won't be disturbed. Maybe circle your shoulders out there. And I think once you get into those habits and routines, and it's probably different things on different days. It doesn't have to be too rigid. Come back the other way. But if you kind of do the same things on different days or something similar, I think you kind of build that. I don't know. It feels like you build a momentum, and the familiarity kind of guides you and supports you. So we try not to do New Year's resolutions, right? We try and keep things a lot longer term than that. All right, beautiful stuff. I'm going to swap my legs out, and then we're going to do a little bit of lateral movement. So left hand down, inhale, right arm over to the left, and then just pause here and breathe deeply. Create that space. Nice. As you exhale, just move to the other side. So the other arm was lifted, then come to the opposite side. See how that feels. And then move in on the breath. Inhale, right arm to the left. Exhale, left arm to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. 3 more times either side. And then bring your top arm down. Press your fingertips back down into your mat. Take a deep inhale. And then take a full exhale. Beautiful. Come with the hands back on the knees. And then just sit again in a little bit of stillness. And this might be a yoga practice, right? 5 minutes of just being still and paying attention. And just practicing. There's no good and bad in any of this stuff, right? It's just awareness and movement. So don't think that you can't do it in the right way or you're doing it wrong. It's not true. And then if you had your eyes closed, then just slowly blink your eyes open. Beautiful. All right, so I'm going to come closer to the camera. We're going to do some breath work now. Where are we on time? Yeah, this is a good time to do it. So these are going to be just a little bit of breath work for a little fuel kit, a little toolkit that maybe see you over the Christmas period. Okay. I think it's useful, right, to have these little practices, and because they sometimes just take a few minutes, right? They can just take a minute or two, and they can really kind of shift you. Someone's stressing you out over Christmas, or you feel like you've eaten too much and you haven't got much energy, you just feel lethargic. That time that spreads between Christmas and New Year can sometimes be quite challenging. It shouldn't be too challenging for me. I'm going to Scotland in my camper van, so that'll be very nice, but I'm lucky, right? But you might be doing something equally as adventurous. So one of the first things I like to do is alternate nostril breathing. And I like to do this when I wake up in the mornings. Not every morning, but sometimes I'll do it. So you've probably done it with me before, and if you're new to it, then welcome. It's called Nadi Shodhana, or it's called Energy Channel Cleansing Breath. Energy Channel Cleansing Breath, right? It's got a good name. So you're going to bring your right hand up. You can use your left, but it's your choice. And then block off your right nostril with your right thumb, and then take a deep inhale through your left nostril. So you're probably quite surprised how deeply you can breathe, right, through that left nostril. And then you just swap it out. So I use my little finger and then exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril. And then close off your right, exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Close off your left, exhale through your right. Inhale right. Close off right, exhale left. Let's do one more round. Inhale through your left nostril. Close off left, exhale right. Inhale through your right. And exhale through your left. And then you can bring your hands down. I think we did 3 or 4 rounds then, I can't quite remember. But remember, all of this stuff is on catch-up, so you can just go to YouTube or Facebook and maybe just follow me in a few of these breaths. If your eyes are closed, come with your eyes open. So that one I really like. I think it's calming, it's grounding. It kind of, in some ways it kind of balances your energy out. So if we think about it, on left side of the brain, it's quite calming. Right side is kind of quite activating. So this is sympathetic nervous system, right? Right side, this is the stuff where we're off and we're going. And then parasympathetic is where we're calming the nervous system down. So we want to spend a little bit more time in this left side, right? So that kind of balancing breath can really kind of get us into the left side of our brain. If you feel really out of it, just block off your right and inhale and exhale through your left. And you just draw the breath in, you draw the breath out, and you find a rhythm that works for you. We'll do one more. So this is called 5-5-5 breath. And I use a mudra for this one, just a hand position. So I bring my hands like this, fingers, thumbs, they're all together. And then I press my thumbs up against my sternum. And then I just move my thumbs away a little bit. Now, the instruction which I was given is that you gaze down towards your fingers through a little slit in your eyes. But it sometimes gives me a little bit of a tension headache. So I don't do that. I just keep my eyes open and look down. So follow me on this one if you desire. Take an inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then pause the breath at the top for 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's your rhythm. Inhale through your nose, Pause your breath. Exhale through your nose. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause the breath. Exhale. So what this is doing is setting your breath up in this really calming rhythm. So fantastic for your nervous system, right? Everything calms down. Very good for your body, for your mind. Inhale through your nose. Pause your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And then let your breath come back to a nice steady rhythm and just check in. See how you're feeling. And then if your eyes are closed, very gently come with your eyes open. Beautiful stuff, everyone. And I love that one. I really love that one. I think I feel very different, even if I do like 4 or 5 rounds. I feel very different when I do that. You know, sometimes we have this tendency where we can catastrophize and we freak out, and you know, we get out of our body and we get in here, and you know, things are not great. So these breath patterns, they can be so amazing. Pranayama, right? It's there for us, and it doesn't have to be super powerful breath. This breath kind of breath work is very popular at the moment, but it seems to be this kind of very powerful, you know, breathing out through the mouth, breathing in through the mouth, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. And it's for a lot of people, it's too much. For me, it's way too much. I don't need to kind of bring myself up to that level. I'm already there, right? I don't want to be there. So this is classic pranayama. This is kind of what the yogis were doing thousands and thousands of years ago. So there is a lot of kind of wisdom in that breath, right? So I'd recommend them. There's 2 that you can do over Christmas. And a little bit of movement like we did today. Just kind of move a little bit. And you don't need a lot, right? You probably want a mat, and you can pick a mat up for like, you know, a tenner. Go to somewhere like, what's the shop that sells them? TK Maxx, right? They've always got yoga mats in, but you can buy it from wherever you want. And maybe, you know, get yourself something comforting. Like, so we use blankets. These are fleece blankets. We use a supply called Yoga Matters. Yoga Matters, they're called. You can go on their website and you can buy something like that. And a blanket can support out your knees. It's something nice to sit on. You know, you can expand your kit out, but I think that's all you need, right? A mat and a blanket. You can use bolsters, right? We've got all this sort of stuff. Let me just show you, because it's the last class of the year, all the kind of things that we use here at Space to Breathe. So, you know, we've got Mexican blankets. You can get those off Amazon, right? If you desire, don't have to. And then we've got all of these amazing bolsters. These ones from Yoga Matters. Bolsters are amazing to, you know, have support your practice out. We've got kind of brick blocks, different sizes, right? These kind of things. And then the final thing that we've got, as I'll give you a little guided tour, we also have these ones, which are flat bolsters, right? So a little bit thinner. You can buy those. They're quite nice to sit on. And then we have these things, sandbags, right? And these are quite heavy, right? They're full of kind of grit and they weigh quite a lot. So these are good if you feel really ungrounded. Place one on your sacrum, or you can place one, you know, on your feet, that kind of stuff. And then the final thing, meditation cushions, right? So you can buy all of this stuff online. And as I say, we use Yoga Matters. You don't need to. Look at Leicester out there. Look. Do you want to have a look out the window? There we go. this is where we are. So yeah, you don't need to build up lots and lots and lots of equipment, but it sometimes can be really useful. And I think having a space to practice that feels kind of private. It doesn't have to be like you're the only one that goes in that room, but if you set it up, and an amazing tip that I think works is roll your yoga mat out before you go to bed, right? And set it up. So when you go in the morning, your brain already goes, there we go. That's what I do. And you just set yourself a little habit, right? I go to the gym a little bit and I go running. And if I'm going to the gym or I'm going running, then what I'll do is I'll set things up the night before, because then there's no excuse, right? I'm like, all right, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to the gym because my trainers are there and my bag's packed, or, you know, my running trainers are there, and that's sort of what I committed to. And it's raining, but it doesn't matter because it can be fun going out in the rain, right? So whatever works for you, but try and build these patterns over the next few weeks, and hopefully we'll rejoin I think it's the second week in January. I think it's the week commencing January the 8th. I think that's right. And we'll see you all there. So that's enough from me. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's bring our hands to our heart center. And then just with a wholehearted bow, wish yourself well, wish everybody else well. Namaste. Have a great Christmas. Look after yourselves. Rest if you can. Have a great new year, and we'll see you in 2026. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much for your support. It's really lovely to teach this class. See ya.